Did you know there are a ton of weird diners across the US? Like this one, inside of this giant woman statue. There's even this diner, where the waiters literally perform while they're serving your food. And I plan on visiting them for one specific reason. See, I used to be obsessed with watching Guy Fieri's diners, drive-ins, and dives. But an issue I have with the show is that most of the diners are pretty basic. So I decided, why not visit a few strange ones myself and make my dream episode a reality by finding the weirdest diner in America. So I'm in New York, and behind me is one of the weirdest yet most iconic diners in America, and for a good reason. This is Ellen's Stardust Diner. It's 1950s themed, and they're famous for their singing waitstaff who perform Broadway songs while serving your food. This restaurant definitely fits my criteria for being weird. However, I've never actually been here before, so I have no idea if their food is any good. So let's check it out. So normally on the weekends, there is a huge line to get in this place. I'm talking hours of wait time, but I planned my trip accordingly and decided to come here on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. So there's no line. Big brain. Whoa. So despite there not being a line out front, this diner was already full of people. They had the disco ball going and confetti all over the floor. Keep in mind, it's only 8 in the morning. Y'all, this place is crazy. I have never been anywhere this early in the morning with a working disco ball and strobe lights. Now, because this diner was so lively and fun, I was curious to see what they had on the menu, especially because while I visit America's weirdest diners, I plan on ordering the weirdest food options available at each of them. However, before I even got the chance to see what they have, I think a performance is starting, and I don't know if I'm supposed to talk during them. Out of nowhere, a few of the waitstaff hopped up onto this makeshift runway in the middle of the room and began singing. They were all so talented, I'd show you all the entire performance, but YouTube would probably take this video down. So here's just a little bit. Once again, I would like to remind everyone, this is happening at 8 in the morning. They are talented individuals. Okay, now that the performance is over, let me actually take a look at this menu. So I gotta be honest here. Despite there being so much going on with the rest of the restaurant, the menu was surprisingly pretty basic. It was mostly just your typical diner food, which I wasn't really excited to get, but there was one thing that caught my eye. It's a rainbow bagel, and it comes with cream cheese and tater tots. That seems like a lot for 8 in the morning, but we'll see if it's any good. Now, I gotta say, one thing I didn't take into account before coming here was how weirdly difficult ordering would be, because right as I was ready, that's my waitress. She was about to take my order and then had to start singing. I didn't know she sang too. What? But not to worry. When she was done, she immediately came back over to take my order. Thank you, appreciate it. Order has been placed. Should be coming out shortly. One thing I can appreciate very heavily about this place is even though it's so early in the morning, everyone working here looks like they're having a blast. I know they might not be because it's still a job, but it's making the entire place feel very friendly and fun, which I appreciate. And just to add on to that, because of how happy everyone looks while performing, it does make waiting for your food way less boring than at a regular restaurant. My waitress kept killing it on the mic. Best one there, in my opinion. The entire waitstaff danced and sang songs from so many different shows and musicals like Grease, Mamma Mia, and even The Lion King. The food has arrived. First off, this bagel is huge. Second off, I can't believe this plate cost me $16. No matter how you look at it, this bagel is 100% overpriced. But since New York is known for their bagels, maybe it'll be good? Okay, the first thing I want to point out is that they used a respectable amount of cream cheese. They did not skimp, which I appreciate. However, there's literally no point to this being rainbow. It tastes like a regular bagel. I'll still eat it though, I gotta say. Despite the food not being like amazing, the performances are top tier, so I feel like coming here could be like a cheat sheet into hearing good performances for way less of a price. I did slam the rest of this bagel, watched a few more performances, and for a second there, I thought they were going to make me start singing too, which would have been so bad, but thank God they didn't. With that being said, now that I'm officially done with my meal, it's safe to say that Ellen's Stardust Diner is officially in first place as the weirdest diner I've been to. The next diners I'm going to will definitely be a lot weirder than this one. The question is, will their food also be better? We'll see. Alrighty, y'all. So this next diner is a time capsule that takes you straight back to the 80s. And apparently, to a fire. Behind me is a Back to the 80s cafe, a little retro 80s themed diner. Now, as far as I know, food in the 80s wasn't known for being great. I'm pretty sure everything was mixed in Jell-O. Not to mention, it's when microwavable meals became popular. But the thing is, there's an item on their menu weirder than all of that, and I'm very curious to try it. So I made my way inside, and when I walked through those doors, I instantly felt like I was transported back in time. This place is crazy. They had posters and photos on the wall from old movies, a section dedicated to just Star Wars, and even this old school gumball machine. I was told that I order up at the counter and then I can just sit anywhere I want. But before I do that, let me give you all a tour of how weird and wacky this diner is. This right here is nothing. First up, we got some funky tables. They got these funky diner booths. A fire truck. Oh, you can't even see me. This hurts to sit on. And there's even this other dining area that's a little funky, but also kind of scary. What is going on here? Alrighty, y'all. Tour is over, and I found myself a seat at a booth. And I also grabbed one of their menus just so that I can go over everything this place has to offer. When I picked up the menu, I noticed that it looked like an old school comic book, and that a bunch of the food options on there were named after iconic things or people from the 80s. Pretty cool attention to detail. After seeing all that, but the weirdest thing on this menu has to be the deep fried PB&J. That's right, it's peanut butter jelly time, but deep fried. By default, everything deep fried should be tasty, but there's really only one way to find out. Oh, thank you. The food has been ordered. I'm order number 42. Hey, while I waited for my food, I noticed they had an old school Miss Pac-Man machine, so naturally, I gotta go for the high score. They even gave me 2 quarters to play with. I like this place. I got so close. The high score is 38,000. I got 18,000. Honestly, not bad for a first try. I do want to play some more, but my food's ready. I made my way back to the table and quickly realized I may have ordered too much. I got the Doc Brown burger, a milkshake with bugles on top, and finally, what everyone's been waiting to see, the deep fried PB&J. Holy cow. I don't know about y'all, but I'm fully expecting this to hurt my tummy. First up, I want to try this milkshake. Yo, this is fire. I don't know how else to explain this, but it doesn't taste like regular milk. It tastes like one made with the milk from a cereal bowl. You know what I'm saying? Cereal milk, that's the vibe. It's good, man. I don't know. I tried the Doc Brown burger next, which I'm pretty sure is just a regular cheeseburger, but with the cool name. It's a thick one, though, that's for sure. Oh. That tastes pretty good. This burger has pepper jack cheese, so it adds a nice little kick, a little extra flavor in there. All of the ingredients, like the vegetables and stuff like that, fresh, which is always a good sign. My only complaint is the patty itself is like a little dry, but overall, pretty decent burger. Now for the grand finale, the deep fried PB&J. Holy moly, just look at that. Wow. It says powdered sugar on top. You can see the peanut butter and jelly just oozing out. Whew. Sheesh. Here we go. Why am I scared to eat this? My only question now, how good can this deep fried monstrosity even be? That is one of the craziest things I've ever eaten. This tastes exactly like what you'd expect it to taste like. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich, deep fried with powdered sugar on top. I can feel the sandwich in my face. And I don't even know how else to describe it. It's good, but I think I'm gonna have to go to the gym and see my dentist immediately after finishing this. I'm done eating. I feel like I have fully experienced the weirdness of this diner. I'm ready for the rankings. Unfortunately, even though I had a great time at the Stardust Diner, the food here was a lot weirder and also better. Good morning, sir.
How's it going?
I'm sleeping. Okay, everybody. I am now with my buddy Jim. If you don't remember Jim, he was in the oldest pizza shop video that I did a few months ago. And basically, he is driving since the next diner is a 6-hour road trip away. It's in Natchez, Mississippi. And the thing is, this diner is only open for around 3 hours a day, which is why we had to leave at 5 a.m. We should be arriving right when they are open for business. So, yeah, let's hope this drive to this diner is worth it. All right, road trip montage. Alright, y'all, the map says we are 3 minutes away. I really hope this diner is as weird in person as it looks online. My eyes are peeled though. Where is it? I'm ready for Jim's reaction too. We're both so locked in. Where is it? Oh my god!
What do you think about T-Mobile home internet only being $35 a month?
We need to take your mind off of this. Come check out my new man cave.
T-Mobile's got home internet, just $35 a month and guaranteed for 5 years.
Fancy Feast Gems. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary.
Car crash? Call Solino. Call the Eights.
On Vinted, turn extra clothes into cash, all with zero selling fees. Don't wear it, sell it.
Known for pursuing your passions. No one wants to be known for candy.
What? That's where we're eating? Ladies and gents, behind me is a Mammy's Cupboard. This is the weirdest looking diner I've seen in my entire life. I don't know much about this place, except for the fact that it's pretty obvious anyone who drives by definitely stops to take a photo. But I'm curious if anyone actually stops here just for the food. So, let's go eat and find out. Jim, I don't know why, but I feel like the food here is gonna be really good.
It has to be.
Something's telling me. My spidey senses are tingling. Great, how are you? Good morning. Just for two.
All right, you'll step right there to the doorway there, 50 hours later.
Got it, thank you so much. Wow. So I'm not exactly sure how to properly describe this diner. Outside of saying it kind of feels like I'm inside someone's house. They have old trinkets on the wall for decoration, the most stereotypical southern signs you've ever seen, and also, I just love that you can literally see right into the kitchen. So we just got seated, and it turns out on the menu, there's actually some history about this diner. It was built in 1940 and somehow is still owned by the original family. In the past, it's been a gas station, a restaurant, a gift shop, and even a craft center. As of now, it says they're known for their home-cooked foods, gourmet sandwiches, and delicious homemade desserts, which sound pretty good to me, especially after a 6-hour car ride where Jim and I did not eat a single thing. Anyways, time for me to actually look over the menu. Now, this menu had just about everything you'd expect from a classic diner, with the exception of this peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The food itself isn't weird. I've just never seen a place serve a regular PB&J for $7. At least the last place deep fried it. Obviously, I gotta see how good this PB&J is. However, I don't think that'll be enough to fill me up, so I'm also gonna get the Tuesday special, which actually comes with a lot of food. I placed my order and had to ask my waiter a very important question. Do y'all have a lot of regulars here, or is it people like us?
If it's people like y'all, we'd be out of business.
That's fair. I was honestly pretty happy to hear that because if they have a lot of regulars, despite being such a weird looking restaurant, the food has to be good. Right? Oh wow, that was very fast. Y'all, the food has arrived. We got the peanut butter and jelly. Looks pretty good. And right here, we got the Tuesday special. Meatloaf, tomato gravy, some bread, green beans, and a nice salad. Honestly, I don't think I've ever had meatloaf before, so we'll see how good this is. It cuts pretty nice. Cheers, y'all. Now maybe this is because I haven't had meatloaf before, but unfortunately this was pretty dry. Also not a huge fan of the sides because they were a little under-seasoned. The bread was good though. Jim, what'd you get?
I ended up getting the Reuben, but I replaced the corned beef with turkey. So a turkey Reuben with vegetable beef soup or something like that.
Let's see how good this Reuben is.
That's good.
Jim's sandwich turned out to be a lot better than my meatloaf, but now it's... I'm sorry. So this PB&J is on sourdough bread, which they actually make in-house. I always love a place that makes their own bread. Cheers. I honestly wasn't expecting much out of this, since it's just a simple PB&J. Like, I literally ate these when I was 5, and that's why I was so confused when I realized PB&J. The bread actually makes a world of a difference. This PB&J is made with crunchy peanut butter, and normally I prefer the smooth kind, but the bread makes it feel so light. Jim, you need to try this. I'm not even joking.
Really? Is it that good?
It's really good. Good.
You're right, it's the bread.
I can't believe we drove 6 hours here for PB&J. Jim and I were so full after finishing the rest of our entrees, but there's no way we could leave this diner without getting desserts. You gotta say desserts.
Oh,
3
desserts? Go ahead, okay.
Desserts. Jim got the banana caramel. Give it a shot.
That was good.
Really? Describe it.
Describe it. Airy.
Okay. Seeing you react like that to that slice of pie made me even more excited to try mine. So I got the peanut butter pie. Obviously, if the PB&J is good, this has to be amazing. Oh, that cut's so nice. Oh my gosh. Cheers, y'all. I wonder if this pie alone will be worth the 6-hour drive just to get here.
Thumbs up on the peanut butter.
This is amazing.
That's the peanut butter.
The pie's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's rich, decadent. Oh my lord. So we've officially finished our meals. The pies were definitely the highlight. And now that we're done, it's about that time where I'd normally rank this diner. But there's an issue. What's up, y'all? It's Future Dylan here, currently editing right now. So obviously this video is about weird diners, and the restaurant I was just at is most definitely weird, which is why I showed it to y'all in the first place. However, I did more research, and it turns out this diner has a very problematic past. I didn't know about this before coming here, especially since this place has 4.2 stars on Google. I honestly just thought it was weird looking, but after learning a little bit more about it, I just can't possibly recommend nor condone this place, which is why this diner is getting completely disqualified from my rankings. With that being said, on to the next one. So I'm back in the South, specifically in Red Fork, Oklahoma. Behind me is a diner known as Ollie's Station. This diner is train themed. It was founded in 1983, and according to a few sources online, just their train collection alone is insured for over $750,000. I've only seen a few photos online of the interior, but from what I can tell, they go really hard on the decorations, so I'm very excited to check it out. Also, I thought this was pretty funny, all things considered. They built this right next to an old railroad track. I made my way into the diner and couldn't believe my eyes when I realized how many trains are actually inside this building. They got small trains, big trains, trains on the wall. And you see this right here? That is an active railroad. I'll show you what I mean. This place literally has an active train on a little railroad track that moves along the ceiling around this entire restaurant. Yo, I don't really even love trains like that, but this is so cool to me for some reason. Now, I did just get the menu, and after looking at it for a second, from what I can tell, all of the options look pretty normal, like your traditional diner. But one thing that I've never seen before is that along with this traditional menu, this diner is also a buffet. Y'all know how much I love buffets. It also only costs like $12, which is a crazy deal, so it's pretty obvious that's what I gotta get. Awesome, appreciate it. Another reason I gotta pay for the buffet option is because it actually lets me walk around the entire restaurant, which means I get to look at some of the cool trains they have. I'm gonna go do that now. I got up and made my way over to some of the trains they had on display, and they were actually really cool to look at. Dude, look at this replica city. And look, a train. The train moves. So I guess this is a replica train from the 1800s. I don't know much about trains, but if they look like that, it's pretty cool. Now that I got my train fix out of the way, it's time for a buffet tour. Here we got the plates, a little salad bar, and over here, we got all the hot stuff. Honestly, there's not a ton of options, but all the food looks really good and is warm. So, should be good. I'm expecting good things. The food has been acquired. Honestly, y'all, this plate smells so good. You want to see what I got? Because I'm about to show you. I got some mashed potatoes, rice, a few hush puppies, cornbread, and a beautiful piece of fried chicken. Just listen to the crunch. That sounds beautiful. Now, just like at all the other diners, I was looking for the weirdest food option available, but there wasn't one. All of the food was pretty normal, but honestly, that kind of makes me feel like the food itself will taste a lot better. I had to try the mashed potatoes first because while I was up getting food, this old lady made it a point to repeatedly tell me,
These are real potatoes.
"Gotcha, okay."
Got real potatoes.
I'm not really sure I understand because I don't know how you can make mashed potatoes without real potatoes, but cheers. Wait, these mashed potatoes are crazy. Maybe I've been eating fake potatoes my entire life, but I've never had mashed potatoes this like silky and smooth. The gravy's perfectly salted. Holy cow. So far, Ollie's Station is off to a very good start. Try the rice. Okay. Also good. I think what I'm the most impressed with so far is how well seasoned the food actually is. It's not undersalted, it's not oversalted. I was expecting the food to be tasty, but I wasn't expecting this. I guess it does explain why they have such a high rating on Google though. Next, I tried the hush puppies. I don't normally like hush puppies, but these are good. They're so crunchy, doughy, pillowy on the inside, and they're kind of like sweet and salty. My only complaint so far is that the cornbread is a little dry. Could be better. Now that I'm done with the sides, it's time to try what I've been the most excited for. This beautiful piece of fried chicken. Some people might question my fried chicken knowledge. However, I did film a video with my buddy Joshua where we just rated fried chicken all day, so I think I know my stuff. Color-wise, the skin is a perfect golden brown, and you already heard the crunch. So without further ado, let's see if this tastes just as good as it looks. So normally at buffets, if you see chicken, it's usually dry. However, this still got some juice. The seasoning's pretty basic. I think it's just salt, pepper, and some garlic. It's still crunchy despite being set out for who knows how long. Skin on it is crazy. After clearing my plate, I had to go back to the buffet for some dessert. The lady that I was speaking to earlier also recommended I get the peach cobbler. She was very right about the potatoes, so ba-bam. It's hot. Oh my gosh. I don't know how else to describe this. Somehow it's like sweet, but also savory. I think it's the cinnamon. I don't know if that makes sense. Regardless, it was so good. Now, one thing I do want to mention, this is totally because I'm filming, but my waitress was super nice and randomly brought me a gigantic slice of chocolate pie. And I mean gigantic. This is the size of my face. We got a heaping pile of meringue with some chocolate chips, a nice layer of crust, and of course, the actual pie. I am super thankful for this since it looks delicious, and on a sign out front it says all of the desserts are homemade. However, any restaurants, if you see me, please do not feel obligated to give me free food. I will just pay for it. But with that being said, let's try this pie. I think I got everything. Nope. I didn't. Okay, I got everything this time. Cheers. Oh my god. The third time's a charm. Cheers. Oh my gosh, I need this chocolate pie recipe. I promise I'm not just saying this because they were nice and gave this to me for free. This pie is crazy good. The chocolate's not too sweet, it's not super dense. I was a little concerned about how much meringue was on here at first, but it's so light, it basically just vanishes. And the chocolate chips had a nice little texture change. I knocked out the rest of this delicious pie, then paid the bill. Which means, ladies and gents, my diner experience is officially complete, and now that I've been to the weirdest diners I could find, the votes are in. I have decided that America's best weird diner is... So, where should I visit next?